guys, John582 here today. Today I'm going to review The Long Game. The Long Game Doctor Who. So basically, this is actually a satellite. They land on Satellite 5, a bit like Platform 1. And it's like a predecessor to a story which is coming up in the future. If you know what I mean. If you haven't seen it yet, then where have you been? If you're new though, sorry for saying where have you been. Of course, you're new to the franchise. What am I talking about? But if you haven't watched it yet from the actual series, and you've watched the series, then you should have watched it by now. It is an alright story. It's like, as I said, it's like a prequel to a story which is coming. Which I'm talking about that story. I'm not talking about this story, The Long Game. It's alright, but it's kind of weird. I mean, I would have dropped Adam off straight away. I would have took him home and dropped him off. Because Rose wanted him to come. Because he said he wanted to see the stars. Now, everyone who said they wanted to see the stars went with the Doctor, I think would have a problem. Like, the Dalek would say, I want to go and see the stars. I was born on Skaro to rot, and now I want to go see the stars. And the Doctor will go, alright then, Dalek, come on in. I feel real sorry. But he did do it with in the 8th Doctor series with a Cyberman. But I can understand more of a Cyberman, because Cybermen have more of a heart than the Daleks. I mean, Daleks do have a heart. That's proven in the last story. I mean, a lot of people are not like that story, but that story was quite good. It weren't really a good Dalek, but it, you know, it had a problem which made it a good Dalek. But I wouldn't have had Adam. I would have dropped him off, because the whole place is blowing up around them. I would have dropped him off, and that would have been it. But no, we had to go on an adventure, and for that adventure, he had to be the main problem. The Jaggerfest weren't really the problem here. Now, there's a huge monster in Satellite 5, which was keeping the whole place boiling hot. The only real place which was cold was upstairs. And that's something I didn't understand. Now, why was it freezing cold upstairs for? All right upstairs, but downstairs it was all what's the word? All sweating hot. But upstairs there was all ice. You can see the dripness was the sweat. The dripness. What the hell word is that? The sweatness was dropping off this huge pink monster thing. But it weren't gonna die. But that's how eventually the Doctor does defeat the monster, by heating up. Now we have a brilliant actor here, played by Simon Pegg, who is the editor. Now the editor is one of my favourite characters in this story. Has to be one of the best characters. He just plays the role precisely brilliant, and he works for who he has to. So when he realised, because he wouldn't work for this Jaggerfest anyways. I think he's an evil character, but I think he's in it for his own gains. So when he couldn't work for him anymore, because he said he was a slave anyways. I don't know if he was a human before this. I don't know. But he was going to escape, and I would have loved to see him escape and actually return and actually control some other characters. Maybe Ice Warriors. Maybe, I don't know how he could control Ice Warriors. Something like that. Or Yetis. Maybe he could control some Yetis. You know, I can imagine him being their leader. But he never has returned yet. Or I suppose he died because of that woman agent capturing him. I mean, a lot of things were going on in that episode, and I was like... The first time I watched this episode, I have to admit, I didn't know that she was, you know, an agent. That lady who caught the editor, I can't remember, Shakiki or whatever, Sakiri or whatever. She caught him and she wouldn't let him go. Then, because he died. Adam, of course, was being a typical stupid man. Now, I'm not being nasty here to Adam fans, because the only Adam fans who like Adam have to be young girls at this time. Maybe even young girls don't like him anymore. I don't know. Maybe they do. But I'm saying he was the most typical man who would want to ruin the future. You know, future, I mean the past, sorry, what I'm talking about, by inventing something early. The thing is, you need the plans. Now, I think he was going to tell the plans, but even though, I don't know how, just how he would do it in the past, you know, you can't actually scan that in your brain. I don't know how you would do it unless you have to clip it up to yourself somehow, but it was in his head. scanning in his head. I thought there was a beam going to come to his head. And he said, I can work out, Mum. That's something else I don't understand either. How could he work out, when he doesn't have the beam from the satellite, or it's not in the future? He's in the past, 2012. I know his story was in 2005, but he was in the future by about 7 years. It don't make sense to me how he could have done it anyways and figured it out. He just has a huge clicker, clicker for his brain. Another thing I don't understand is clicker. They take the mick out of Adam saying click, click, click. Not click, click. They're not saying click. They're doing click, click, click. That's another thing I don't understand. So is Adam the only one? That main woman, I can't remember her name either. Though I did watch this last Thursday. Click. They're the only main ones, but it only works for certain people. So when you do one person, it just does that one person. So everyone else in the room, because there are different things, but you're telling me only how many people are there? 2 or 3 clicked. Clicked. So why didn't they all do it at the same time? Is one thing, and why would you choose a clicker for? Adam, I don't know if he had the choice, but no, he did have the choice. What I'm talking about, he did have the choice. But surely you would have done it, said, just a little thing I did, a little thing you would do, which is very unrare, very rare, like a click of the tongue, like, or, like that, like, why would you do something which is a normal thing, like, I got it, and then do that? I mean, what happened to him as well after that story? Did he go on? Was he experimented on? What happens? Did he get into some secret organisation to stop the Doctor? Did he? Nothing ever was told again about Adam, but I think that is what we predicted, because Adam was such a bad character. I don't think I liked him. I felt bad for him. But then again, why would you take someone who Rose hung on to him, but why would you hang on to someone who would just leave you behind? Just leave you behind. I don't understand that part. But the main person in this story was the Doctor and the editor, and the Doctor, of course, is playing the role of Fantastic again. The Doctor, no flaws. The Doctor was fantastic in this story, but the whole thing was, getting everyone the news by touching these things, telling them the news, and giving out the news to them. There's also another thing I've realised. We haven't actually seen any children of Captain Jack or anything, but it says the Faithful Belle has children. Now, it said the Faithful Belle gave birth, so that means Captain Jack has children out there, which is quite interesting. I don't know if that will come up in the new series. That hasn't come up anywhere. So why hasn't it come up? Wouldn't that be interesting to see Captain Jack's children? For overall, I would rate this story maybe a 7 or 6 out of 10. I wouldn't say it's the best story, but I wouldn't say it's the worst. If you're a new series, you watch a new series. If you can tell what I'm doing, that's the end review, guys. If you can tell what I'm doing, I'm actually doing the reviews of what I'm watching at the moment. So I've actually watched series 1. As you should know, I did the reviews quite a while back. Tomorrow, which is in a minute for me anyways, I'm going to do On the Buses. When I finish On the Buses, I've actually got Supernatural now on Blu-ray, so I will do Supernatural on Blu-ray for you lot when I've done On the Buses. But if you haven't realised, it's getting up to near Christmas, and I've told you I'm going to have some time off. So next Friday will be the actual, what day is it? I can't see. I've got bad eyesight. The 11th. And then the Friday after will be the 18th. So next Friday will be a proper review. Then the Friday after will be the Christmas one. And then when did I say I was having days off? But either 30th or 30. No, I'm not coming back for 31st. 30th. I should be doing because I said I did the Christmas review. What am I talking about? The End of Time Part 1 review, and End of Time Part 2 will come probably the day before Christmas Eve, which is the 30th? Yeah, of course, the 30th. So that's the plan so far for this year, unless something happens. I don't know what happened, but if anything happens, that's the plan so far. Next video I'll explain what is happening with the actual DVD reviews. You should really figure this one out easy peasy. Please like, please comment, please subscribe, tell me what you thought about the story, give it your round review. That was my review. Bye for now.